Welcome to Open Arms, an honest conversation about firearms. Hey everyone, I'm your host, Brian Lockerman. And I keep getting more and more people coming in the studio that is trying to make a difference for this state of California we live in. And today I have a good one. Guys, stay tuned for the best show ever, okay? I have Eric Early in the seat today. Welcome, Eric.
Well, I'll tell you something, Brian. It's great to be here. This is a gorgeous studio you have, man.
Thank you very much. And it's been an exciting morning because Eric just did a One
American News
One
Network.
American News interview this morning. It was amazing. We were having a great time listening to his interview. It was brilliant.
Thank you. I'm running for U.S. Senate, as you know,
Absolutely.
and I'm the leading Republican out here in the belly of the beast, California. And we can do this, brother. And so, yes, the interview this morning with One American News Network was a lot of fun.
Beautiful. I love that. We were cheering in the background for you. It was great. And who are you running against again? What's that guy's name
He's
again?
a pathological piece of garbage.
Yeah, what's his name?
I'll give your audience three guesses. Pathological, piece of garbage, very thin neck. I think they know.
There you go.
His name is Schiff. I'm running
Yes.
against Schiff, and I'm running against two other beauties as well. You got this woman named Katie Porter. They're all in Congress right now. I'm not a politician. I'm a lawyer. I know a lot of people. My dad hated lawyers. Okay, my dad was in combat in the Marines. Did not like lawyers. Remember being nervous telling him I was going to law school. But Katie Porter, who she proudly calls herself a progressive, and in English that means communist.
Exactly.
And then you've got another one, Barbara Lee, and as I just said on the One American News show, if she doesn't have pictures of Fidel Castro and Karl Marx all over her apartment, I'd be stunned, frankly. That's what I'm running against.
I know it.
Yeah.
Eric, whenever you contacted me and we were talking about being on the show, I'm like, yeah, no problem, Eric. When you told me you were running against Adam Schiff, I said, get down here now. Let's go. We got to start pushing this. I tell you, this is amazing. And I want everybody out there too. You've got to support this guy. We need this. This would be the hugest statement we made
Oh, yeah.
in California.
Let me tell you something. If we can get him out of government,
Oh,
that would be one of the great days in our country. He is a national disgrace. He is a danger to this nation. And, one of the things I tell people, because a lot of people don't realize this, so we have a primary. In California, it's a top two situation, meaning that whoever gets the most votes, the top two, end up going forward to the general election. It's really a terrible system because in California, a lot of times you get two Democrats get the most votes, and
Yeah.
then they go through the general. I don't know why this law came about, can't stand it, but right now I'm actually leading in the polls against those three. But this is what's one of the things that's so important. If I get in the top two on March 5th, primary day, only one of those other three will end up in the top two. And it is not unheard of that Schiff would not be the other one in the top two.
Really?
Katie Porter, who again, nothing to write home about by any means. But she's got a strong race against Schiff. So it's very possible that on March 5th, if things could play out, Adam Schiff could be out of our government. He would have a few months left till November, and he'd be gone.
oh, what a shame.
So wouldn't that be terrible? So
That'd be awful.
I'll tell you, as bad as all three of them are,
Yeah.
Schiff is the worst.
Okay, well, what can we as the people do to help you?
Well, a couple things. We're building an army of volunteers around this state. I was the lead lawyer for the Gavin Newsom recall, and I'm very close with the whole Gavin Newsom recall team.
Okay.
Many of them are on my campaign. But that was an army of volunteers around this state that made that recall happen, that got it on the ballot. And so we need volunteers for this so that we can have people, precinct walkers, all kinds of stuff, signs, everything that volunteers can do, knocking on doors, and go to ericearly.com, ERICEARLY.com. And then
Okay.
donations, brother.
Donations. Remember that website. We're going to post that website. We're going to talk about that more and more as the show goes on. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to fix your side here.
Oh,
How's that? Is that a little bit better?
I thought I was losing my hearing in my left ear, man. Okay.
You're probably thinking, oh no, what, I think my hearing's going. You're all good now.
Sound like a different person, man.
There you go. How about that?
Thank you.
But Eric,
Get that production assistant out here.
it's all good stuff. I tell you, I came over this morning. I'm just half asleep and stuff like that. And when you came over and you start doing that interview, I'm just like an Energizer bunny.
Well,
This
I'll
is
tell you, dude.
fantastic stuff.
I don't
I
kid
love
around.
it.
And, as I said in that interview, as I always say, listen, we're in a time, we're at a crossroads right now in America. We're on the edge. So many of, I know your viewers know what's going on.
100%.
There's a battle of good versus evil going on in this country right now. And these evil have taken hold, man. And the barbarians have broken through the gates.
Mm-hmm.
The domestic enemies of this nation have infiltrated all the major institutions in this country right now. And it's to a point where it's remarkable, but we all know it. They consider us the domestic enemies.
Exactly.
We revere our Constitution. We love our country.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We believe in law and order. We support our military. We fight for all law-abiding citizens across the racial spectrum. All right. We want our kids to all get a good, solid education and succeed in the greatest country in human history. All right. And these maniacs have managed to take such control of the dialogue in this country that we have become the domestic enemies to these people. And so I fight for this great country, and I fight for all people who love this country. That's why I do it. As I always say, my wife and I, my wife's a registered nurse. She grew up on Navy bases. We've got 4 kids, 3 dogs, a cat, and a turtle. I run a great law firm. We have a blessed life. Don't need this politics in our life. Bottom line, we do this, and when I say we, I talk about me and my wife. We do this because we love this country. Beautiful. And we know what is going on here. And so great people from the private sector have to get out, get up there, roll up our sleeves, and fight. And as you know, in California, this is the tip of the iceberg for this far-left American Marxist effort to take over this country. And so many of them can't stand me because I am fighting right here in the tip of the spear, man. And I love it. We got to do it.
Very good. I appreciate your efforts doing this. It's fantastic. So now what's your take on the Second Amendment?
I'm a huge supporter of the Second Amendment.
Beautiful.
And let me tell you how I've evolved over the years with the Second Amendment. I always supported our right to keep and bear arms. And it was always because not only for the ability to hunt, but for, self-defense. Mm-hmm. And especially where they've completely undermined law enforcement. That's yet another reason why we should all be able to keep and bear arms. But the way I've evolved is, and I'm sure a lot of your viewers are way ahead of me on this, was the real reason for the Second Amendment in the first place, is to protect us against tyranny.
Exactly.
And we are living in a time where we're witnessing flat-out tyranny growing and gathering all around this country. Yep. Look at what we went through with COVID here in the state of California. The lockdowns over a year longer than the rest of the country. The forced vaccinations and everything else. The destruction of businesses. These people on the other side, these Marxists, are soul crushers, man. We witnessed flat-out tyranny here. Not able to go and to houses of worship, the whole thing. When you could go to Costco, couldn't go to house of worship. And then we see what's going on with the government. Completely weaponized government. They've taken over, we know it, they've taken over the 7th floor, as they say, of the FBI. They control Department of Justice, the IRS, the permanent government, as Tucker Carlson calls it, as a deep state, as many of us call it. The White House, look at what they got in the White House right now. There's growing and gathering tyranny out there in the land. Yeah. They are incredibly arrogant. They know and they can do anything they want to do. And so we need a Second Amendment in this country now more than ever before. And there is frankly only one thing I think those people are afraid of. They'll never show it, meaning the far left in control, is the fact that there are, and as your viewers know, there are between, I believe this, and you might know better numbers than I do, between 20 and 40 million ARs owned by American citizens
Oh,
in our
yeah.
country. And that is one of the few things that these tyrants in control of our country, that's one of the few things that they're looking at and they're concerned about. Otherwise, they figure they got us coming and going. Uh, and uh, and so I am such a supporter of the Second Amendment, and primarily for the reason we have a Second Amendment. And as I'm sure you know, Brian, you look at the quotes of our founders and all the reasons why they wanted that Second Amendment in our Constitution. It was to protect against tyrants,
Exactly.
protect against tyranny.
100%.
And we know the history of the world, and every time these evil regimes have rolled over people and disarmed their populaces, what's the next thing they've done? They've
Yep.
just gone out there and murdered them, killed them, taken over, wiped out whatever rights they had left. And so I'm a huge supporter of our Second Amendment. We have to have an ability to stand up to this tyranny.
It's correct. And, I think more and more people are realizing that too. And that's why just last year alone, there were like 5.4 million new gun owners out there. Now, that's kind of one of the reasons why I put the show Open Arms together, to just show people the importance of, getting safety training. I support everybody going out there and getting their first firearm, but please get safety
Yeah,
training.
definitely.
Make sure that you're safe with that firearm before you bring it into your home.
Yep.
If we can just do that and help protect people and families and lives, we're doing a great job at that. And again, I do like seeing all these people coming out of the woodwork buying these first guns because they're now thinking, what's going on? And I tell you right now, it's not just Republicans. It's Democrats
No
too.
doubt. I think many people, there's no doubt more and more people are arming themselves.
Absolutely.
I think the vast majority of them are doing it because they see what's happening to law and order in our country.
Yeah.
Because of these maniacs, frankly, that are taking over district attorneys' offices. The fact that the way they're completely undermining our brave men and women of law enforcement all around this country, and the way they're just in California, for example, this what they call criminal justice reform, which is basically English for they love criminals.
Uh-huh.
And they will do anything to protect violent criminals out here. People are arming themselves to protect and defend themselves and their families.
Exactly.
But more and more people, I believe, are starting to figure out this tyranny angle as well.
It's true.
Yeah.
And even we do safety classes all the time, and in our groups of safety classes, we do have Democrats, and they talk about how they're not happy with what's going on. However, you get your one little bizarro character. Once in a while, I had a guy come in, he just blew my mind. I already told the story online a couple times, but he was just incredible how he wanted just to get rid of everything that we stand for, our amendments, the whole deal, our Pledge of Allegiance, everything like that. And I went up to the guy and I said, what are you doing here? He said, well, I'm here because I'm getting training on my firearm so I can protect myself. Okay. Do you know why you had that firearm? It's called the Second Amendment. You want to get rid of that? And then his response was this, brilliant. Well, look, I'm not going to take my gun and shoot up a mall, a movie theater, but I don't know about those people. I said, so you're telling me
idiot.
all those people?
Listen, let me say something along these lines because people rarely put it in terms like this. Brian, I'm going to look at the camera and I'm
Sure.
going to say it. Listen, there's no doubt, and we see it. There is less than 1%, probably 0.0000 something percent of maniacs who have gotten the hands on an automatic weapon and have committed terrible crimes. All right? But the people who want to disarm all of us, to take away all of our ARs, they don't say that. On one side, there are 20 to 40 million of these firearms owned by law-abiding Americans.
It's true.
And here we have, less than 100 psychos who have opened fire, in these mass killings. So what they're saying, but they won't say it, is they, meaning the Joe Bidens, the Gavin Newsoms, the far left, the Schiffs, the Katie Porters, Barbara Lees, all of who I'm running against. They're saying that because of less than 100 maniacs who have done terrible things with automatic weapons, they want to take away 20 to 40 million weapons. They won't say that.
I know it.
And they are tyrants. They know what they're doing. They know why we have a Second Amendment. They know how they are taking our rights away on a daily basis, and they are totally freaked out.
They're scared.
They are
Exactly.
scared, and as Thomas Jefferson said, so many of the great founders, our government has to be scared of the people. And they are so arrogant right now. They can't believe they still have to be scared about something. So, as I've been saying more and more, these people on the other side, many of them are smart. They're evil, they're smart, and they've studied the playbook on taking like communist takeovers of countries, and they're following that playbook. But in all the playbooks they've studied, the Marxist playbook, the Maoist playbook, the Fidel Castro playbook, Venezuela, North Korea, there's one chapter that's not in that book that they've been studying all along. And you know what that chapter's titled? It's titled We the People.
There you go.
And that's not in the books they've been studying. That wasn't in the Bolsheviks playbook. It wasn't in the Chairman Mao playbook. It wasn't in the Fidel Castro playbook. It's only in one playbook, and it's in America. And those tyrants, they don't have a clue how to deal with we the people. They're scrambling around. They're doing their best to mess with us. But I'll tell you something. At the end of the day, I absolutely believe that people who love our country, American patriots, and this crosses party lines, racial lines, everything, American patriots who love this country, we're going to win this battle of good versus evil. I'm hoping it doesn't come to blows. I know a lot of people think it's automatically headed there. I still actually believe I'm running for election, right?
Yeah.
I have huge problems with the electoral process
I
right
know.
now. But all I keep saying is far left, ratchet it down. Ratchet things down, because they keep every day you wake up it's some other crazy thing. I just don't know if they have the ability to ratchet things down on the far left. But at the end of the day, we are going to win this battle of good versus evil. I firmly believe that.
I do too, and I'll tell you why. I see more and more people coming out with voices these days.
Yep.
It was back in the day, we kind of just were real hush-hush in California especially. More and more people are stepping up now. We're speaking out. We're grouping, and guys like you especially are making a difference.
Yep.
You're out there to make a difference for our state, and that is going to be amazing. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, thank you, man. Again, my wife and I do this, and it's not easy doing this stuff.
I'm
You
sure.
put yourself out there for attack from these psychos all the time. But we know who we are. We know who they are, and we fight for this. We fight for this country that we love. I absolutely believe that America is the greatest country in human history.
Oh,
And these nut jobs on the other side, they hate this country.
Yeah.
And yet, while they're hating this country with one side of their brain, they're waving in millions of illegal immigrants into this country with the other side of their brain. This terrible country that they say, this terrible structurally racist country, and yet they're waving in millions of people. And why are those millions of people coming here? Because they know we are the greatest country in human history, and they know they are escaping from just terrible places that have treated them like garbage. And we just got to protect this great nation. I absolutely believe at the end of the day, we're going to win this battle of good versus evil. As I tell everybody, you got to stay brave. You've got to stay strong. You've got to stay courageous. You've got to keep your common sense and your wits about you. There are millions more of us in this country than these far left on the other side, notwithstanding their tactic, which has always been a Marxist tactic, to make it seem like people like us are in the minority and they're in the majority. Not remotely so.
Yes, and we can't stay silent anymore, guys. We have to have a voice. We have to support guys like Eric. We've got to do this. We are on track right now, and we're out to win this thing, right?
Oh, absolutely, man. We're not playing games here. We've got an incredible campaign. I got a great team around me. We've set up a fundraising apparatus around this country. Some of your viewers might be getting texts and emails from our campaign as we speak.
Very nice.
I need your support. Go to ericearly.com. Press that donate button. It adds up. These evil ones on the other side, they've been raising money for years.
I know it. ericearly.com. Go there. Donate, support, anything. Just please, let's keep this movement going. I'm loving this.
All right, man.
I'm energized having you here.
Well, I like that.
I love bringing people like you into the studio. Like it's just fantastic.
Brian, we're not playing games here. Like I
No.
said, my wife and I, we don't need this stuff in our
I
life.
know it.
But
You know, just look at Donald Trump. Do you think he needs? Do you
exactly.
think he needs this in his life?
Exactly.
He's doing it for our country
Exactly.
because he loves our country and
Exactly.
he supports our country.
And look at the way they are just every minute, every day working to destroy him. It is
Exactly.
sickening. And, you know, at the end of the day, they're doing that because they know that he gets it. He gets everything we're talking about today and more. And they know he's got the power and the ability to run them all out of the permanent government and get this country back for we the people. So, and that's why they hate him. That's why they're trying to do everything they can to destroy him. I still think he's going to get elected again, and I hope he does.
Let's hope. Let's hope. I mean, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
It'd be fantastic. Okay, so do you know where people can find that interview you did this morning here, or
Well-
what day it's going to air?
It's going. I believe it's going to air later today on One American News Network. But I
Okay.
will get you the link, and then Brian, maybe you could just send it out.
Yeah, we'll post that on our Instagram, and please tune in. It was a great interview. Trust me, you gotta watch this. Yeah, we'll definitely do that for you. Get some
All right.
people, some viewers.
And there was a great article on me yesterday on FoxNews.com.
oh,
Yeah,
nice.
where I was going after shift. So it's out there. You can find it.
Okay.
Yeah, where I called him the national disgrace that he is.
I know, right?
He's a guy's a clown.
What's wrong with that
I mean,
guy?
the guy's a clown, man. I mean, come on, come on. Listen,
You got
if
everybody
you're-
happy here right now.
if you were going to be, if you were, I mean, you're a producer, right,
Yeah.
man? If you're producing your first movie and you're looking for like a sexual predator, and you're casting, and that guy walks in the cast room, you say, "That's it,
That done.
he's hired."
Yeah.
He doesn't even have to open his mouth. He's got the job. You could stop. I mean,
Just look at his eyes. How
Oh.
shifty. That name shift, almost shifty. It's almost the same thing. His eyes are all shifty. You know what I mean?
oh, I'm telling you,
Ugh.
not a
Makes
fan
my
of
skin
his.
crawl.
Let's just say that.
Oh, it's unreal. All right. Well, listen, Eric. Again, we are going to do everything in our power to support you.
Thank you.
We're going to get the word out for sure.
Yeah.
There's some things too I want to talk to you about after the show. What we're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to be very interested. It's to really support people like you.
Cool.
And again, I do appreciate your efforts to get out there to change this state, and we're there for you, man.
Thank you so much for having me, Brian. Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you both.
Okay,
and I
one
love
more
your
time.
studio here, man.
Oh,
I
thanks.
walked in here, I was blown away.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Okay, one more time.
Yep.
Give them that email again, or that website. I'm sorry.
Okay, ericearly.com, ERICEARLY.com. Go on there, look at, read more about the campaign, watch our videos that are on there. Press that donate button. It goes right through to the campaign treasurer. Donations are safe online there. A lot of people want to know why politicians need this money. We got to pay for the campaign staff. We got to pay for the campaigning up and down the state. We got to pay for the lawn signs and all the signs you got to do. And ultimately, we're saving up, hopefully, to be able to afford TV advertising in this state. So it's incredibly important. And also on that website, you can sign up to volunteer for our campaign. Somebody from the campaign will contact you directly, and we'd love to have you involved.
That's a good one. He just said, if you think you can't have enough little money to donate, volunteer.
Yep.
Volunteer is great too. Just anything to support a guy like this.
And no donation is too small, by the way.
Right.
Just no donation is too small. Volunteer, and at the end of the day, if you are registered to vote in California, I need your vote. I need your support. The ballots start going out in February. It's coming like a freight train.
Beautiful, Eric.
All right, man.
Amazing,
Thank you.
amazing stuff. I love having you here. In fact, I want to bring you back in when we get more updates. How
Bring
about
me
that?
in. Yep.
Yeah, the more.
Love to come back here.
100%.
Mhm.
All right. Well, that's our show for today. You can find us on Instagram at openarms.tv. Go to our YouTube channel, Open Arms TV. Comment about this show especially. This one was a good one. And anyhow, the last thing I have for you guys, always remember, safety, family, and the Second Amendment. Have a great day.